Where is the benefit in this man? He recommended Nuno Espirito Santos. He recommended Conte and went after Conte, and a fit that's clearly not worked. Player recruitment has been looked at and gone, well, actually, what was the point of Jed Spence? What was the point of this player? What was the point of that player? Perisic hasn't done very much since he's been there. This is all on this guy.
Yeah.
So why are we fighting, if we're Tottenham, to keep him? I actually think it's a great opportunity to clear the decks. Thanks very much.
Fabio Paratici, the man at the top of the club, sporting director, of course, the very top is Daniel Levy, but sporting director Fabio Paratici, he departed the scene as well because FIFA extended a ban from Italian football on Paratici, extended it to a worldwide basis. And now Tottenham have lost him for 2.5 years. He is gone. He is out of there. One would assume, soon to be replaced, you would assume as well. And just the other night, reportedly, without any pre-knowledge of this ban being extended to a worldwide basis, Paratici addressed the Tottenham support.
I would like to see not just the season, but even the last season. When we came here, we speak about rebuild a bit, and we start to play Conference League. Then at the end of the season, we achieve a big result. So to get Champions League, to play Champions League. Then this season, we play Champions League. We passed the group, so it was a good achievement for us. And then we get out in against Milan. I think about grow up, the team and the club, the pathway. The club was good about the result in that way. And then, of course, we are disappointed because we can be better in FA against Sheffield, and every time that you lose one game, you regret about it. Of course, we are focused and looking forward about be better, arriving at the end of the season, and the next season better again.
So that's a way ahead for Tottenham without Conte, but now it's a way ahead for Tottenham, according to Paratici, but now without Paratici. Alex Crook joins us live. Alex, is he definitely gone then?
Good morning, Jim. You couldn't make it up, could you? First and foremost, even just hearing you talk there about the timeline of events, it seems like something from some kind of comedy soap opera as opposed to an actual real-life Premier League football club. I don't think he has gone yet, is the answer to your question. You look at the Tottenham statement from last night, they're asking for clarification from FIFA. They're not happy they weren't given advance warning. Obviously, had they have been, then Paratici probably wouldn't have been put up to address the nation, address the Tottenham fans, address the Tottenham players. But we know there's an appeal process. I think that appeal is due to be held on April the 19th. So I'm not sure we're going to learn much more from Spurs between now and then. But it does put into question Paratici's potential role in their search for a successor for Antonio Conte, because we know before this bombshell announcement from FIFA that the ban initially imposed in Italy had been extended worldwide, that Paratici was going to have a big say in that succession search. You can only assume that won't be the case now, which puts the spotlight firmly on Daniel Levy. I actually feel a bit sorry here for Christian Stellini. He, as caretaker manager, is due to address the media tomorrow. Spurs have got a massive game at Everton live on talkSPORT on Monday. Is this not the time, and I'm keen to get Simon's take on how he would handle this if he was the owner of Tottenham, is this not time for Daniel Levy to come out of hiding and actually face some questions from the media, face some scrutiny from the Tottenham fans? Is it fair on Stellini that he's going to be the one who has to bat away questions about the future of the sporting director?
Well, is it difficult to do? I don't think it's particularly difficult to do. He can't speak to it very much, can he? He didn't make the decision. FIFA made the decision. Whether you're right or wrong, Alex, and I think you're probably right, if I were in Daniel's shoes, I'm a different animal to Daniel. I would want to be front and centre, and I would want to make sure that people understand my views, and I'd want to negate the opportunity for a narrative to be created in the vacuum. But that's not Daniel's style. He doesn't speak to the media. He does it in a different way, and that's possibly because he's not a great public speaker. I'm not excusing it. It's just the nature of the beast. Some people are, some people aren't. I don't look at Stellini thinking, oh, you're going to have an awful time. This is a torturous thing. It's a simple question. I can't speak to it. I don't know. So you can ask me as many times as you want, but I don't know. Then I'll tell you about the team selection if you want to know something meaningful.
Yeah. Do you find it strange, though, Simon, that Tottenham reportedly didn't know that FIFA were about to extend Paratici's ban to a worldwide basis?
No, if you know anything about the channels of football and the manner in which they communicate, in the same way the legal system often communicates, you don't know when a verdict's going to drop.
Well, should FIFA not have notified Tottenham first?
Well, they did, didn't they? They just
no, Tottenham say they didn't know it was going to be extended.
Well, yeah, okay, but they must have known. And what Tottenham didn't know is the date of when the problem was going to manifest itself, right? So with that in mind, what everyone's doing is laughing at Tottenham and saying, look at this, they've done a speech from their sporting director, and the very next day, he's been sanctioned. Well, that's just an unfortunate set of timing. If he'd have done it last week, and the sanction had come out this week, the same would have applied, because people would say, that could have addressed the people a week ago, but he'd done it 2 weeks ago, people would have said it. Unfortunately, the circumstances are either Tottenham are remarkably unprofessional and didn't know that there was still an impending situation, which we all knew, by the way. Everybody knew that there was an impending situation.
That it might be extended to a long way
that.
Well, Tottenham are saying we are urgently seeking further clarification from FIFA as to the details of the extension and its variance from the FIGC sanction.
And I'll tell you why they want to know that. Because they're going to appeal it. So in order for them to build their appeal and to ensure that in the meantime, in the interim period, they can keep him in situ. Because what they're going to do is what Man City will do about these 114 charges. They're going to push back on it. They're going to make sure that he's not accountable for this moment in time, and they're going to appeal it. And in the meantime, in the absence of the actual adjudication being put down because we're waiting to go through the process, you might see the fella step back into situ. So the reasons why Spurs are asking for this now is they want the absolute grounds behind it being... Now, it's pretty obvious, isn't it? It's not difficult. Basically, you've been caught guilty of something in Italy. You're playing in you're operating in UEFA football. It really should be that it catches you everywhere anyway. But what Spurs want for their legal team is the opportunity to evaluate the position taken by FIFA so they can scrutinise it, reposition themselves and go after the appeal on the basis of it.
Alex, this is day number 1 for Paratici after FIFA's announcement. Is he working today?
Well, I think part of the clarification that Spurs are looking for is what roles within football he actually can still undertake. I mean, presumably he can't get involved in transfers. I've mentioned already that he can't get involved in any managerial appointment. I think he can still do some menial day-to-day tasks at Tottenham. The big question I would have, Simon, and I heard you speaking about this yesterday, and I may be right, is Paratici worth all this hassle?
No.
Has he done a good enough job for Spurs?
I don't think he has,
actually
Alex,
he's worth fighting to keep in the first place? I know a lot of people in the game away from Spurs at other Premier League clubs, they're amazed, they're astonished even that Paratici didn't go out the door when Conte did.
I agree with you 100%. Also, there's another argument which says that just because you've got some kangaroo court in football, it is a restriction of trade here. They can't stop somebody from working, ultimately, because ultimately his livelihood is at situ. And we all know, really, if they turn around and say, right, well, you can't be the director of football, but you can be the toilet cleaner, he won't be cleaning toilets. He'll be giving Daniel Levy all the advice that he needs about who he should be employing, how he should be employing them, and who he should be buying. And it'll be some ridiculous situation dressed up in a different guise. But I am actually more inclined to absolutely categorically agree with Alex. Where is the benefit in this man? He recommended Nuno Espirito Santos. He recommended Conte and went after Conte and a fit that's clearly not worked. Player recruitment has been looked at and gone, well, actually, what was the point of Jed Spence? What was the point of this player? What was the point of that player? Perisic hasn't done very much since he's been there. This is all on this guy.
Yeah.
So why are we fighting, if we're Tottenham, to keep him? I actually think it's a great opportunity to clear the decks. Thanks very much.
Jim White and Simon Jordan. Monday to Friday mornings from 10 on AM, on DAB, via the talkSPORT app and on your smart speaker. talkSPORT.